Hey, welcome gamers to Gamer Guide channel. I of course am Gamer Guide and Rollin, and today we're going to be playing Harvest Mode in Wizard Wars, something new that was released in the last month, I guess it was, and something I've been very happy with. I have a lot of fun with this game mode, and it's kind of become my favorite mode, even of the more former player versus player battle mode, or whatever you want to call it. This one kind of combines some MOBA-like elements, I would say. You try to get the other player's tower and to weaken their tower from being defended by a shield and also being able to shoot its turret at you, you have to collect these little souls that you'll see here on the ground. After you kill these monsters, they drop one, so there's one right there. And that weakens it. Now what you got to do is get to 200, get a count of 200, and after that happens, then you can basically go over to the other opponent's tower uncontested without that shield or without the turrets and destroy it, and then you win the game. Of course, they try to stop you. It's not as easy as it sounds. So anyway, I am playing one of the two maps that are out right now, and I'm sure there'll be more. But I've been very happy with the way this turned out, and they have also released a lot more content as far as different weapons and robes and stuff, even since I last reviewed this on just kind of what it is like to get started now in Wizard Wars. I'll say this game is probably, out of all the games I've ever played, the most skill-based game as far as taking practice and all that to really get good at it. It takes longer than probably any other game I've played. But it is rewarding, because once you get there, you can play, a brand new character and still hold your own like I'm doing here. I have a couple characters on this game. I've actually put a lot of hours into Wizard Wars, as it was formerly one of my favorite games. But I'm really happy to see it growing and doing well now that they've come out with this new mode. I was checking out the Steam stats on this game, and it's kind of picked up about 100% overall. It was about 95% last 30 days, and then a little bit of a game before that. So the game's really grown to twice its former size. Now, it wasn't huge before. It's been kind of in beta, and they just recently released it. So that might have something to do with it too. But I think when they launched it and they came out with this game mode, that was really a smart decision. And I know Paradox, the parent company of this game, or the creators I should say, is going to be coming out with Wizard Wars 2 soon too, so I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I think it might have already come out or just been released recently for kind of a sample if you wanted to just get a feel for it. Not everything's unlocked yet, as I understand it. It's still kind of in, I don't know, trying it out mode or whatever, preview mode. So anyway, yeah, so once you get used to the controls, the way this game works is there's 8 keys on the keyboard if you haven't played it before, and they all represent a different element, and you use a combination of any 3 of the keys and cast different spells and stuff. And so, of course, there's lots of different combinations that do different things. Right now I'm using Beam, which is really good in this mode if you're trying to take down big monsters like that. They call it Arcane or Death. There's a couple different names for it. So I went with that choice, and I'm also going to be going, I guess, Shield mode is kind of what I started out. In the last episode, you saw me kind of unlocking the tree over on the right side, but since then I've played a couple games and I've started to unlock the Mastery tree on the left side now too, because I think going Arcane is a real smart move, and it looks like everybody around me is thinking the same thing. This other guy here too, I mean, he's got the same exact robe as I do and everything, because I think Arcane is really good in this mode at least. It's good to have that set, because the way this game works is everybody has the same 8 elements. I mean, you don't have different types of characters or anything like that. You basically just customize the one you have by wearing different robes and staffs and little trinkets and stuff like that, and they all have a negative and positive attribute. So for instance, like what I'm wearing here, this got team killed. Wonderful. All right, well, hey, so some people are just still learning on how this game works and stuff like that. Anyway, what I was saying is, so there's anything that you get as far as a positive, like I decided to get some stuff that boosts your Arcane or Death magic. Well, that also makes your fire weaker, so everything's balanced, and even the starting gear you have is pretty viable. In fact, a lot of people always play starting outfits because everything's in equilibrium and you don't have any weaknesses too. But I'm good enough at the game where I know how to ward and stuff like that when people come to attack me. Oh, little punk, I just healed these things up and he just burned them all. We will be punished. Go to the corner. Stay in your room. In your room frozen. I'm not going to kill him though. I don't like team killing. But that was not cool. just healed those little guys up. I got almost been killed. Well, I almost had my little guys killed after I just got team killed into those little boogers. There we go. Take care of this guy with some fireballs. Yeah, so anyway, what I was saying is everything's kind of in equilibrium, and I like that about this game. And it really just comes down to like how well you remember the different combinations of keys and how well you can execute them at the right time. And then also has something to do with speed too. And I mean, I'm not the youngest player out there, so there's lots of people who are better than me as far as being able to just get those keys off quicker. But I'm pretty experienced now where I know all the basics and stuff like that, and everything's kind of second nature. When you get to a point on this game where you don't think about the keys anymore, the 8 keys plus your movements and all that, and you just think about, hey, what is the right reaction, and you can do it without thinking about it, that's when you know that you're starting to get good. I had somebody yesterday, Hunter, I don't know if he watches this channel, but he had asked me on Steam, hey, how do I get good at this game? I started it and I'm not very good, and he called himself terrible or whatever. I said, well, really the best way and the only way really to get good at this is to practice, but there's also some groups in the community, Trans Academy is one that comes to mind, that will give you some heads up and some training. Some skilled players will basically take you under their wing and show you some tips and stuff in 1 versus 1 mode. There's a couple different modes in this game if you're not familiar. And so that's a good way to kind of get down some of the basics. And then of course you still got to practice no matter what happens. To get good at anything in life, you got to practice. That's just kind of how it works. There's not really an easy way to it. You want to be a skilled musician? Well, you gotta practice your instrument, and you gotta work with other people, and keep it up. Same with videos. I'm getting better, I think, as I go along, and a lot of other people I know too are improving in videos all the time. But you don't just make a video your first time that's golden. You got to keep doing it and keep it up, and then eventually you get better at it. So that's why I like this game. It's kind of a testament to putting in the work and practice. And then the cool thing is, you can take some time off like I have. I've been in Robocraft, making lots of build videos and stuff like that, and then you can come back and you can get right back into it pretty much. And you have a little bit of rest, of course, but for the most part here, I'm doing fine. So, that guy just got murderated. All right, let's push these dudes back and give them a little shock therapy. There we go. So one of the cool things about this harvest mode too is all these, as soon as you kind of play this a couple times, you'll learn all these little tricks. Like those guys that are red there, if you use your double fire ward, they can't hurt you. And then the blue guys, or the white guys up here, are kind of the opposites. So you use like cold ward, and then you can get them without getting hurt. And then there's also some monsters in this that are like fire-wielding swords and stuff, and you can totally dodge them and once you figure out how to kind of move and get around everything. So everything in this mode has kind of got a little trick, and and I don't think you have to be as skilled in this mode as you do in Warfare mode. So this is a good game to play if you're just getting started and you want to try to learn all your spell combinations and stuff like that, because you can, as long as you know which keys do damage and stuff, you can do okay, get your points, you can contribute to the team and all that. I mean, you're still going to have to fight other players, but not to the same level that you would in Warfare mode, where you're going to run face-to-face with them all the time trying to capture the same points. This one, there's lots of tokens, there's a pretty big map, and you can, just go off on your own and kind of hide and get those tokens and then help with the tower at the end if you want to. Let's take care of these guys real quick. So that big troll thing over there, that is one of the creatures in this mode that drops the most of those soul tokens that you got to collect. So everybody kind of goes to the middle and they try to take him out. But of course he's not the easiest monster in the world to take out. He's got a big electric sledgehammer, there we go. It does lots of damage and stuff like that. And one of the things you can do is just use this double lightning ward, and that will protect against a pretty good amount of the damage that he deals. And then the other thing is just move. Now I use beam on my character, and I back up, and then I turn and use the beam while I'm moving. I'll use a little lightning here to kill a lot of those guys. Fortunately, I probably get a couple friendly kills here too, if they're not careful. It looks like we did okay, but they dropped their own little bombs on us. Anyway, yeah, so I like using arcane on this mode, and if you learn all the little tricks of each of the different characters, it becomes easy, and you end up getting a lot more efficient at executing different moves. And it's a good way to practice too, so when you get into warfare games against other players, for kind of capture the spawn point mode, or whatever you want to call that, you get a lot better at the game in general. Alright, so now this is their tower. This is their main, what they call effigy in this game, and you're supposed to just lay down damage on it without getting killed here, so that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of moving around and keeping those guys trying to chase me, basically. I'll freeze this guy, take him out real quick. So, and these guys are not, you know, they're probably newer players, or they haven't played as much as I have. So, and everybody kind of starts out this way. So you can't really fault them for it. It just takes a little bit more practice to be able to really hold your own against people who have more experience. So, here we go. And there's, you know, lots of different things in this game too. You have defensive spells, like that was a arcane ward wall. I like using that a lot. Keeps people away from me. And you can also use life walls. This is the opposite. I usually don't break it, I just heal behind it, and then when it breaks, it heals you and everybody around you too. So it's a good way to kind of stay in the match here at the end too. So here is one of the magics. You have these different really powerful spells, and as you kill people, you get more and more points to be able to use it. And so this one is the lightning storm. And it's a great way to take out the tower at the end, and also kind of crowd control everybody too, keep them out of the area. And of course, even those big spells have defenses. Like you see that guy with his double purple circles around him, that's a lightning ward. So he'll use that to try to keep himself from getting zapped to death. Give his shock therapy. There we go. So, and then this guy in the middle, he's trying to defend right now by putting up shield wards. But there's lots of things that go through shields. So like lightning goes through shields.
The enemy effigy is under attack.
You know, and so as long as you know those different spells, like right now I'm using lightning, because I know he can't defend that. And it also goes over walls now too. How you defend lightning, you've got to use other storms, like lightning wall, or you can use firewall and stuff like that. So now I'm going back to that arcane beam. This is really, I think, the best thing to use, in my opinion, for taking down these towers or the big monsters, because it builds damage over time. So as long as you have a couple seconds to stand there and aim at it, you can do it. And then right now I'm dropping mines and fire, and also these lightning walls do damage. You can drop that underneath the effigy and take it out. So there we go. Looks like Lux Walter got the final blow on it. But that is kind of an overview of the new Harvest mode. I really recommend it if you want to try something that's a free-to-play game, a little different, and something that's skill-based. I'd say come check it out. Well, anyway, guys, thank you, and I'll see you in my next video here on Gamer Guide channel. Later.